What's up, guys? My name is Colin Moriarty. I'm editor of IGN PlayStation. I'm here with Omar Kendall, who's a familiar face to you because he is the director of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Omar, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
So we're here at Sony Santa Monica. We're here to see a couple of new characters, specifically Emmett Graves from Starhawk and Kat from Gravity Rush, which of course you played on your PlayStation Vita. So let's get into how they play. We did this last summer. We talked a bit about a few characters. So we're going to kind of delve in and see what these new characters play like. So let's start with Emmett, because I noticed that he's a little bit more difficult to play than a lot of the characters. He's a little more nuanced.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Emmett.
Sure. So Emmett's main gameplay is really all based around the build and battle concept from Starhawk. So his entire circle button is dedicated to calling down these different loadouts, essentially. So while he starts out with a fairly functional square button and some kinetic guns on triangle, calling down the loadouts will enable him to replace all of his triangle moves with all new guns. So he's got up circle, which calls down one loadout, the rocket launcher and proximity mine, and then he's got down circle, which brings out the grenade and the shotgun, and this completely changes the way he's played. So obviously a rocket launcher, as you can imagine, long-range weapon, good at playing the keep away, the shotgun, much more up close, makes him a little more explosive than he normally is. He also has a turret that he can call down from his circle button, and a rift extractor that generates AP on his own. So a lot of interesting things, I think, to uncover with the character. But yeah, it does take a little bit of a nuance and understanding of his full repertoire of moves, I think, to get a handle on.
Cool. And the other character, of course, is Kat, another female representative here in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. I kind of fell in with her pretty quickly. I mean, she's pretty easy to use, but again, nuanced. She stays in the air a lot, and of course, she's very quick. So tell me a little bit about Kat.
Yeah, I think you're right in that compared to Emmett, she's a little more straightforward, but obviously Kat from Gravity Rush makes a lot of use of sort of anti-grav maneuvers, so I think one of the first things players might notice, she doesn't have a double jump. Instead of having an additional jump, we gave her the gravity dash, so she can actually glide in a bunch of different directions, up, down, left, right, in addition to her standard jump. So this allows her kind of an unprecedented level of maneuverability when you think about what you can do combining her gravity dash with some of her other moves. Also, Gravity Rush takes advantage of a lot of different kicks. If you play that, you know she's kicking almost everything. Every attack is essentially a kick, and you can upgrade those different kicks. And so her square and her triangle are really dominated by a lot of cool and interesting kicks. She's got kind of this dive kick / gravity kick move that you can also control in a bunch of different directions. So again, it takes a little bit of experimentation, I think, to find the best use of those kinds of moves. But yeah, I think in general, she's a very aggressive, straightforward, combo-heavy character. Her circle button takes advantage of some of her more esoteric gravity moves, so you'll be able to draw opponents in close or blow them away with kind of a keep-away move. Yeah, again, a little more straightforward, but also has some interesting tricks to uncover.
Cool. And when we came down here to see these two characters, we knew we were going to see the two characters. I didn't know we were going to see a new stage.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this Heavenly Sword / Wipeout stage. Pretty cool, pretty tight, forces confrontations. I like that. Yeah,
so I'm glad you picked up on that. The level, we call it, it's Fearless, which is the name of the stage inspired by Heavenly Sword. Starts out a pretty straightforward empty platform, but is also small. It's one of our smaller open spaces, kind of a little bit larger than Dojo, if you're familiar with that level, maybe only by a couple of meters. And then you fall into the second stage, also kind of narrow, has a little bit of additional vertical functionality. It's got a couple of platforms in it, but we wanted some play spaces that were a little bit smaller, that forced the action a little bit more, that required the players to sort of really be aware of where they are in relation to their opponents, and we think the level does a really good job at that.
So we have two new characters, one new stage.
Yep. When
can the PlayStation gamers out there acquire these? How much is it going to cost? All of that.
Sure. So all of the DLC that we're working on right now, the two characters and the level, are due early 2013. We haven't figured out the exact date. Kat and Emmett, if you're in that first 2-week window when they go up, you get those characters free. I recommend, even if you don't own the game, hop online, download these characters for free. Why not? You might buy the game one day. And then after that, I'm sure there'll be some cost. We haven't figured that out yet either. The level, we're still trying to figure out how we're going to do that. We don't want to splinter our base and sell it, and then there's some people who have the level and some people who don't. So we're trying to figure out exactly how we're going to manage that, but stay tuned.
Okay, cool. All right, so Omar, thank you so much for joining us. He's becoming a regular here on IGN. You must recognize this face at this point. For all things PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, keep it tuned to IGN.